What will it take? When will people wake up, dude? When will people go, this can't go on, you know?
So Elon Musk is now saying that he will be spending a lot less of his fortune on politics moving forward. This came out yesterday in a new interview. So why is Musk making this shift now? You'll remember Musk spent more than $290 million.
We know why, because he ate the... He went on and attached himself to this unfavorable administration, and he became the face of some of its worst. It became the face of its some of its worst, most unpopular positions. And also on top of that, he is a truly repulsive individual. He does not have the charisma to like navigate this situation. He doesn't even have the charisma of Donald Trump to navigate these unfavorable circumstances. And therefore, it started harming the Tesla profits. It started harming the stock price for Tesla. So now he's trying to back away and quietly manipulate American public, the American political discourse.
To help get President Trump and other Republicans elected. Tesla, though, has struggled this year, really ever since Musk took a leading role in the Trump White House and began to lead his Doge efforts. And now Musk says he's going to spend more time, at least the next few years, still stay on as CEO of Tesla. Something that Harry Enton decided he wanted to look at. What is behind this shift from Elon Musk? What is behind it?
Yeah.
How unpopular is he?
How unpopular is he? How low can you go? Oh my. Okay, take a look here. Elon Musk net favorability rating. Look at this shift. Back in 2017, before he really started this politics thing, he was at plus 24 points. Look at where he is now. Whoa, he fell through the floor. Minus 19 points. Among Democrats, the fall was even more dramatic. We're talking about going from plus 35 points on net favorability rating. That is quite a popular guy among Democrats. To get this now down to minus 91 points. You can't really go lower than that. I guess you could go down to minus 100 points, but he became political kryptonite. He was greatly disliked by the American public and greatly disliked by Democrats. And obviously we saw that in Wisconsin when, of course, he spent all that money and then the liberal won that Supreme Court race.
Yes. How has that plummet of popularity impacted the brand?
Yeah, exactly right. So this is Elon Musk individually. How about Tesla? Okay, let's take a look. The net favorability rating. Look, general.
Not nearly low enough, by the way. We could do better. If you hate Elon Musk, the answer is you don't hate him enough.
General Motors, we're going to compare General Motors and Tesla. General Motors, quite well liked by the American people, plus 23 points on net favorability rating. But look at Tesla.
There will come a moment when people have this same exact recognition of a lot of these slop tubers too, because they're just as repulsive as Elon Musk is, and many of them also. Some of them do defend Elon, some of them hate Elon, depending on whichever way the wind blows. But every single person that is defending this administration will befall the same fate inevitably.
Minus 20 points.
It's just about who gets to be in the crosshairs. Once that association kicks in, you shall see.
So this idea that Tesla could somehow separate itself out from Elon Musk, the American people saw it the exact same way. And of course, Tesla is a business. They're in the business of selling cars. Awfully difficult to sell cars when you have a minus 20 point net favorability rating driven by Elon Musk's net favorability rating right around the same mark. And it's not a big surprise that Tesla sales had fallen in the past, at least in the first quarter, compared to where they were a year ago. It turns out that Elon Musk's political kryptonite was also becoming kryptonite for selling cars.
So, well, and one person maybe that matters to Elon Musk, maybe, well, other than his investors, would be Donald Trump. How has Trump's view of him shifted?
Yeah, so, we're talking about Tesla here, but of course he's leaving the political game. Okay, Trump loved talking about Elon Musk at the beginning of his administration. Trump posts about Musk on Truth Social. Look at this, from January 20th to April 4th. He posted about 40 times. Look, from April 5th onward, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Donald Trump knows brands very well. He knows political brands, and he knew that Elon Musk's political brand's time had run out, and therefore Elon Musk taking a step back from politics.
It also might be a favor to Elon Musk.
Yeah, I would think so.
Post less about me while I'm trying to save my company.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Thanks.
Putting a break on politics, accelerating on Tesla. Elon Musk says he plans to cut his political spending in the future after he spent a record sum to help get Donald Trump back in the White House. The world's richest man has been shaking up the federal government through the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. And now he says he'll turn his attention back to Tesla and plans to lead the company for at least 5 more years. CNN media correspondent Hadas Gold joins us now. Hadas, what more did Musk say about his plans? And it stuck out to me that he definitely kept the door open.
He keeps the door open, but it's stunning to hear from the man who spent more than $290 million in 2024 to help elect President Trump and other Republicans. And then he spent millions more on that Wisconsin judge's race to now say, you know what, I'm done. Take a listen to what he had to say.
In terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
Look at him. He's like a scolded child. It gives me a little bit of happiness, a little bit of confidence to see him like at least lose something, like get kicked down a peg. I mean, he went in there with a mallet and basically destroyed every federal regulatory agency that was investigating every single one of his companies. So he at least got that out of the way. I have a little bit of happiness here, you know?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it. I do not currently see a reason.
And I'm sure many Republicans hearing that will say, wait, there is a reason. We have a very slim majority in Congress. We're going to need your help in the midterms. And as you noted, he did leave the door open. But there's, of course, a question of why is he suddenly changing his tune when 6 months ago, just a few months ago, he's brandishing a chainsaw on stage and seeming so energized about working in politics. Now, we can just look at the numbers. First of all, we can look at the approval ratings for Elon Musk. If you look at his approval ratings in polls back in February, his disapproval rating was at 49%. In just a couple months, it jumped up to 57%, whereas his approval rating did not move at all. And his work in Washington has affected not only his personal approval ratings, but we've seen it affect Tesla's share price as well. I talked to somebody who has spoken to Elon Musk, who's in his orbit, and he said a few reasons why this is happening. He says Elon has too many asks coming to him, and everyone sees him as a silver bullet spender. He says that he warns Elon Musk has not chosen his midterm bets yet, and he says he is sending a message to the market and his shareholders. And as we saw from Tesla's share price right there, Tesla's share prices have gone up ever since Elon Musk has said he's stepping back from politics. Guys.
All right, Hadas Gold, thank you so much.
America's billionaires got a lot richer over the past year. Must be nice. This as Republicans on Capitol Hill are debating the president's tax and spending bill that could make the wealthiest Americans even more wealthy, while leading to deep cuts in certain safety net programs. Matt Egan here with the latest on this. Good for those billionaires.
Yeah, John, it must be nice, as you said. But look, this really highlights America's inequality problem, right? Oxfam found that the top 10 richest Americans got $365.
What will it take? When will people wake up, dude? When will people go, this can't go on, There's gotta be a point where people just go, man, this is exhausting and unjust and can't continue the way that it has.
$1 billion richer in just the past year. Now, this measures their net worth from April 2024 to April 2025. And this, of course, comes despite the fact that there was that scary market drop earlier this year. This amounts to these billionaires gaining $1 billion collectively each day, which is pretty stunning. And to put a finer point on things here, Oxfam also found that it would take 10 typical workers making median earnings 726,000 years to make $365 billion. It's kind of a mind-blowing stat there. Now, as far as who got richer, the top 10 list includes legendary investor Warren Buffett. He got $35 billion richer over the last year. Jim Walton and Rob Walton, the Walmart heirs, almost $40 billion, $39 billion for Mark Zuckerberg. But far and away, this list, of course, is led, not surprisingly, by Elon Musk, who got $186 billion richer in, again, just the past year. So I asked the White House about these findings and concerns about inequality, and a spokesperson argued that wealth inequality got better during Trump's first term and that this legislation being debated by House Republicans would restore prosperity for Main Street. But John, nonpartisan experts, they're warning that this legislation would, in fact, make the rich even richer while simultaneously cutting almost $1 trillion from Medicaid and food stamps.
Well, and overnight we got a new score about how much this legislation will cost.
Yeah, a lot of money. This is coming from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. They're finding that this legislation would add almost $4 trillion in debt over a decade. This comes completely contradicting what the White House said just the other day, arguing that this would not add to the deficit. Keep in mind, this would just add to the mountain of debt that the U.S. already has. Now, that's, of course, a bipartisan problem. Republicans and Democrats alike can share some blame. But this debate over the House GOP tax cuts, it's coming at a time when there's these growing concerns about the fiscal mess, right? Moody's just the other...
Dude, this is such a funny thing to tell me. Like, Dems and the mainstream media are trying so hard to cope with the current 21% approval rating. First of all, it's even lower than that. And I hate the Democratic Party. That's number one. And number two, do you think I benefit more from the Trump administration or you benefit more from the Trump administration? Like, we're at the precipice of severe Medicaid cuts, and your dumb is turning around. Your dumbass is turning around and being like, cry harder, dumb. Think for a moment. Think for a moment. I spend every waking moment railing against the Trump administration. Am I an undocumented migrant? No, I'm not. I'm an American citizen. It's not out of self-interest, at least in the short term. I do think it's self-interested. The arguments that I make against Trump and the arguments that I make against the current American order of operation is in my self-interest in the long term, because I think that that will be a more prosperous nation and a more prosperous planet overall. You suck at arguing, law. Okay, you should think as well a little bit deeper about what I just said. Who do you think benefits more in the short term from the Trump administration and the sorts of things that I'm railing against? Me or this chatter? Me or you? And no, I don't benefit more in the sense that, like, what? You do because you're rich. Exactly. That's my point. This person is advocating against their self-interest. Also, I don't give a about the content. I would be very happy if there was no content and no genocide. Are you stupid? Trump's not giving anything to you. That's the point. He's giving you nothing. Why flex? That's your argument that you're rich. If you think my argument is that I'm rich, you are the densest person on the planet, okay? Also, you literally just said this. So apparently you too understand the point that I was making. You are rich, so you do fine under Trump. As opposed to that chatter, regardless of the other civil liberties being rolled back, yes, as long as I shut up, I would do much better under the Trump administration than that person. And he thinks, and he still has the audacity to come in here and defend the Trump administration. Do you not understand this contradiction? Perhaps it is not I that you aren't shutting up, law, but I could. I don't think you understand the point that I'm making or the point that I just made. Nothing that bad has happened to me is still proving the point that I'm making, which is that that person is yelling at me, advocating against my selfish, immediate, short-term best interest, while they are in the process of advocating against their self-interest. You're making more money by making constant content on Trump, no better than Asmongold. You're a disgusting little freak if you think that what I'm doing is the same as what Asmongold is doing. It's literally the same as just talking. Like your comparison here is like, well, you're talking. I've spent the last 12 years of my professional media career doing political commentary. Political commentary against the Obama administration, political commentary against the Trump administration, political commentary against the Biden administration, and now political commentary against the Trump administration once again. If you think that the only difference between me and Asmongold is simply that we're just like two sides of the same coin and just on different sides, well, that enough has a lot of recognition. That in and of itself basically helps you understand, yes, we are on the opposite opposing sides. Yes, he is pro-Trump, I'm anti-Trump. So people aren't allowed to step in the new interest? Okay, I'm done having a conversation with you. Yes, if your new interest is defending the fascist administration of Donald Trump, then yeah, that's a bad interest. You should pick up a different hobby. Yeah. What's up, guys? My new interest, defending supremacy. The mentions of Asmongold immediately pick up when he starts playing video games in this chat. And then they clip my response to go, Hasan always talks about Asmongold. I don't want to talk about Asmongold. I don't give a shit about Asmongold. You are the motherfucker who are bringing him up in here so you can clip it and then send it back to him and be like, Hasan is just talking about you again. So we can cry about how I should get banned one more time.
Day cut America's perfect credit rating, and there are these concerns that this would also add to inequality. This is the nonpartisan Penn-Wharton budget model. They say that the top 10% of earners would get 65% of the gains here, and the bottom 20%, they would lose $1,000 each next year due to these cuts to Medicaid and also food stamps.